Hey, what's up guys, it's Rumi here with an insane Magica Temple healing build. So I call this one Medicas, which literally means healing hands of light. Latin for the win. I first want to do like I heal nubs, but that isn't really an epic name. So I hired these guards, to attack me. One is a Khajiit, so I offered him some skooma. Yeah, I'm just showing off my insane regeneration. I got like 3k recovery if I have my channel focus down, and if I'm using the Radiant Aura. Well, it's the morph is called otherwise anyways, I don't know it anymore. Which also gives me an increased magical recovery. It's insane. The healing ticks are, well, my healing tooltip is at the moment 18.4k. You can also do crit heals, and Breath of Life is like 17.6k tooltip. 2.4k spell damage with your Destro Staff and let's say 2.2k, it's more a bit up, so I'm rounding it a bit up, on your one hand and shield bar. Hope you guys enjoy that. So, unfortunately not a lot of group PvP going on here, well, pretty much nothing, so I couldn't get any capture of that. Though I'm really planning to play this build myself on the real server, on the live server, so when it does and when I get it done, I will of course make a new video. Wait, that's medium armor, so I don't even get like 5 light armor.
It was at this moment that Nathan knew. He fucked up.
Well, now we fixed that stupid thing. Let's start again. So, I'm using 2 monster set items. A Molekina, guys. Light armor, infused. What you could do here is put on a tri-stat enchantment. I would personally recommend it if you have the funds for it. And make it gold. If you have the funds for it. And we use Choked. Like I said, you can swap them around. It doesn't really matter. I would recommend to make both gold, to be honest. But if you have to make one gold, the helmet for sure. The shoulders not that important as the head. It's the helmet. So we use 5 trainee, 3 light pieces, and 1 medium. How you do that doesn't matter. But I would really recommend to get the chest heavy. Get the chest heavy. So here you see maximum health enchantment. What I would recommend, to be honest, is to get a magic enchantment on it and put some more attribute points into health. Jewelry, we use 3 willpower. I myself got spell damage enchantments on all 3 of it. However, if you are playing a non-CP campaign, I would recommend to get 2 more recovery on it. Maybe even 3, it depends. If you want to be able to still put out some DPS, I would recommend 2 recovery. If you are on a CP campaign, you could go for 1 more with recovery. You have less spell damage, but then you really will never run out of resources, even if you are spamming the whole time. So that's up to you. So shield, one-handed and shield, I use myself, millstone weapons. It doesn't really matter, I was looking for set combination. What you could do here is just craft non-sets. Though for the sword and shield I would recommend, if you are like, it's too hard for me to get Maelstrom, get Seducer. Get a one-handed shield Seducer, increases your magical regeneration. Well, it increases like 130 magical recovery, 2 pieces. So if you're on a CP campaign and you don't even need to get more recovery on these. And then for the flame staff, you can get that again. You can get that in Seducer. Though it won't really matter because you will only have 1 piece then with no bonus. So staff, if you have something master staff, Maelstrom would be recommendable, but it's not really needed. Okay. Okay. So here we got the attribute points. What I said, I would recommend to enchant your chest. You could do a tri-stat or you go for Magica. If you go for a tri-stat on this and this, I would recommend to get like 15 points in health. If not, I would recommend to get 20 points in health. If you go for full magic on these enchantments. And then you put the rest in Magica. Now you may think the stamina, the recovery is nice and you just shouldn't like constantly block or roll dodge, you will be fine with the stamina, to be honest. I mean, if you're having a really hard time, you can go for a bit more points in stamina, but it's not recommendable. Foods. I use Witch Mother Spot and Brew. Here we go. Increase max Magica and max health by 3.2k and Magica recovery by 320. And I'm also a vampire. I would recommend to stay at stage 2. You get less health regeneration. You take 50% more damage from fire. However, the increased recovery you get from vampirism is very nice. And also Mist Form could help you escape any potential threats. And of course you can use the Bat Swarm ult. It's quite useful as well, though. I'm not using it myself, but it's useful. So I'm using the ritual for the increased healing. Now you may think, well, Ruben, you're using 5 Divines, you know, so your healing is of course going to be better. Yeah, it is, but it's only like 30% increased on that 10% we already had. So, you know, it's not a major difference. You will maybe have like 400 healing less. Instead of 16k something, you will have 15.6k healing on the tooltip. And in PvP it will be 18k. So not a huge deal, but I thought I would just say it. So now we have got that covered. I'm going to over the skills. We will start with the destruction staff. So number 1, you know, I swept these things a little bit, but this is the first one. We have Flame Pulsar from the destruction staff. Number 2, we have Toppling Charge. Why Toppling Charge? I mean, you are a healer, but sometimes you just need an extra DPS or you need a gap closer. Gap closers can be very useful as well to escape. Now you are maybe, well, escape, what the hell? I mean, you could slot Mist Form here as well instead of Toppling Charge if you really want to escape. Number 3, so this one is a bit, you know, controversial. Well, Unstoppable. I got Unstoppable here slotted for if you're going... Let's say you are with a group of 6 men and you see an enemy group and you're going in. You put up your Unstoppable and then you swap to your Sword and Shield bar and you go full healing. So then it's really nice to get the increased cycle and spell resistance. However, if you are more like, let's say a duo with 2 people or something and you want to put out a bit more DPS, debuff other people, I would recommend Dark Flame myself because it does quite a lot of damage even though the casting time is quite long. But it's such a big hit coming out of nowhere. For example, you could do a Dark Flare, then you Toppling Charge in and then you try to execute him. What is also possible if you want a bit more AoE Reflective Light because you just can spam it a couple of times and then you will have so many people affected with additional flame damage over time. Number 4 is one which you should really slot and it's Blazing Spear. I mean, everyone is using it. They can use it as a synergy to restore max stamina and additional stamina. The overtime damage effect is very nice and the instant Magica damage is quite decent as well. Number 5 is the Execute. That's what most Templars do and what their role is, you know, healing and executing. Okay, so whatever you do, you keep spamming your heals and whenever you go offensive you're just going to pick off the low health targets and try to execute them. It's the last one from the Dawn's Ref. Ultimate, well, I have the Flame, or you could go for the Vampire Ultimate. Which one, you know, they are both quite okay. So yeah, I mean, it's a cheap ultimate. What I like about Eye of the Flameweaver is, for example, I can activate it and then I weapon swap back and it's still active, you know. So that's very nice, to be honest. So this is the Sword and Board bar. Number 1, we have Ritual of Retribution. So healing your friends and also dealing light damage. So there was a guy in my Twitch channel who was like, Ruben, why don't you go for like Alliance War? Well, Alliance War Purge is more expensive, even a morph, and it only purges them. It doesn't heal them, doesn't deal damage to the enemies. So this one, cheaper, heals, deals a bit of damage. Well, number 2 we have Channeled Focus. So Channeled Focus is a must. In increasing your cycle and spell resistance by 5.3k. And also increasing your recovery by 120 Magica every half second. Recovery is based on every 2 seconds. So that's an increasement of 480 Magica. Also what is really nice, even if you leave the rune, you still will have the buzz from it for 8 seconds after you left it. So you know, Even if you are running away from the enemy with a whole Zerg chasing you down, I would really recommend to put it down to now and then, just to keep the buffs. Number 3, we have Breath of Life. So this one, you know, I was thinking about going for Honor the Dead, but our recovery is so nice, you don't need it. Breath of Life is more like your quick saver if you are very low health, or if a friend of yours is very low health, you quickly spam a couple of times Breath of Life. Though you shouldn't overuse it, because even with this insane recovery, it will eat your Magicka. Number 4, we have Radiant Aura. Well, that's the whole change, you know, about Magicka Templars. Radiant Aura. Champion the cause of Divine Glory to apply minor Magicka Steel to all enemies around you for 18 seconds. Causing you and your allies, so you're also giving it to your allies. I mean, that's insane. Imagine if you have a couple swords running in your group that they get 400 Magicka every 1 second extra. It's an increasement of 800 Magicka recovery, along with the 480 we already had from this one. That's, let's say, 1.3k. Add it up to this, then you will have like 3k Magicka recovery, okay? And if you don't have Millstone, but you have like Seduce, well, then you got like 3.2k Magicka recovery. That's insane. Hasty Prayer. I prefer Hasty Prayer because you can spam it while moving. So yeah, definitely Hasty Prayer. Tooltip is a little bit lower. Now it should be higher. Yeah, see? 18.4k. Well, Hasty Prayer is just your main heal, you know. Using it. I myself prefer to be, you know, to be able to move. That's why I pick Hasty Prayer over the other morph. Though, you could go for the other morph. That's more up to you, you know. I don't know how your PvP situation overall is and how it goes. Ultimate. So this one can be interesting. I got Barrier slotted. And Barrier is kinda worthless. Yes. But. Barrier does have something very nice. And that's Magicka 8. Increase your Magicka recovery by 10% for each support ability slotted. So I couldn't give a shit about Barrier. Except for a 10% Magicka recovery, which is really nice. You know? Now some people might be like, well, you know, I'm a healer. I want to use Rite of Passage. I want to use the healing ult. I myself would recommend Remembrance if you're going to use the ultimate. I mean, it's a good ult. You can use it, for sure. But overall, your healing is already so nice. If you are like healing and you're going to get rid of this one, what you could do is slot Barrier on this. Though I myself wouldn't recommend it. I would then just recommend to go with Eye of the Flame or your Vampire Ultimate or whatever you want to use. Because this is your fallback bar, you know, this is your recovery bar. So your recovery will be less. So that's totally up to you. I wouldn't recommend it. But if you really would prefer it, go for it. So now we go to the champion point system. I'm going to start off with the green section. And I'm directly going to start off with the lava. What I want you to do is to get like between 5 and 8, something like that, 5 or 10 in Moonkel for increased stamina recovery. After you've done that, you will get Arcanist and Magician equally up. You know, like 10 in Arcanist equals 10 in Magician. Don't get Magician up to like 60 and Arcanist at 10. Get them up equally, you know. If you get 5 more in one, that's fine, but don't make one 80 and the other like 5. Get them up kinda equally. Then we go to the Apprentice. Okay, so what I did here is 1 is Staff Expert, 1 in Spell Erosion, 10 in Elfborn, get Blessed up fully, and then the rest in Elemental Expert. So 1 is Staff, 1 Spell, Elfborn 10, and get Blessed up fully, and then Elemental Expert. If you really want to focus much more on healing, get Elfborn up to like 100 or 80, and then get the rest in Elemental Expert. You will deal less damage, but your critical heals will be better. Now we are at the red one. So this one is a bit more complicated. I spread out a bit more here. What I did is 1 Expert Defender and quick recovery. That's more for me, increased effectiveness of healing received by 30%. You know what you could do is you could maybe go for 50 in this, 50, 70, you know. You could even get it up fully, that's up to you. I myself did 70, and after that I got Hardy, Elemental Defender, Spell Shoot, and Resistant up equally. So you see, it's only like, well, Hardy is at 34 and Spell Shoot is at 31, so that's only 3 difference. So get them up equally, you know, 10 in that one, 8, 8, 9, something like that. Try to keep it close to each other. Well, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of the build. I myself really am planning to play this, so I'm now kind of farming the gear a little bit on the live server. So I myself will probably go for the Seducer because I suck in Maelstrom, but we will see, you know, maybe I will try Maelstrom. Let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know if you want more build videos. Showing off the gear, like you can see, armor is all purple. What I forgot to mention though is that your healing will be a little bit less, by the way, because these pieces have defines and we use... Oh, I totally fucking forgot to Mundus.